Guys love it. Girls love it. It's an intimate give and take that has gone on for centuries. Since the dawn of time we've practiced the ritual. Cavemen surely figured it out. It's a pretty obvious process. Yet it's still way more common in the bedroom than it is in pop culture. So the question is, why do we treat oral with such secrecy? We must constantly invent slang euphemisms to keep the censors and safe search engines in the dark. Sure, it's fun to create wacky alternative terms like dine out, hum a tune, polish the chrome, inhale the mushroom, lick the bean, to name a few, but sometimes such wording seems foolish and sounds grosser than the actual act itself. What do we have to hide? When did it get such a negative connotation? Well, the religious powers are to blame. They considered it a sin since it doesn't lead to procreation, and that the act's sole purpose is pleasure. But that's what people like about it. It avoids the risk of pregnancy, and lowers the risk of contracting diseases. We should be embracing the act and encouraging its practice. Rap music has talked about it forever. Comedians have joked about it. The adult entertainment industry was built on it. President Bill Clinton was involved in a huge scandal over it and news media was forced to define it. But we still have a long way before it goes mainstream. We need more ambassadors, more promoters, and who better than some of Hollywood's finest actresses. Here's an oral report of some beautiful women who have taken part in You Know What. In The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Rooney Mara puts her work face on and reluctantly services a jerk in his office. The job is hardly passionate, and afterwards she washes her mouth out in the sink. Surely many girls can relate to that not so fresh feeling afterwards. Bathing is important. Rooney also appears in the critically acclaimed film Carol, with Oscar winner Cate Blanchett. In the film the two actresses play a secret couple in the 1950s. In one scene there is a serious makeout. In another, Mara goes buff and Cate explores her down under. Beautiful Hollywood hotshot Julia Roberts played a prostitute in her breakout role in Pretty Woman, so it's no surprise that her character would have to perform the dirty downstairs deed. The weird part is she's headed down while Richard Gere is watching an old black and white episode of I Love Lucy. Lucille Ball's body had just been buried months before the film was released, thankfully. After all that hard work and trailblazing success, her life's work was a backdrop to a Hummer. Maybe Gere's character was just watching TV, trying to keep it up as long as possible, or maybe the director was trying to find a way to endear a character that pays for female companionship. Way before it was cool to be gay on film, Hilary Swank broke some ground with Boys Don't Cry in 1998. She serviced Chloe Sevigny in a very passionate kiss below the Mason-Dixon line. The love scene was about the only high point in an otherwise depressing bioepic. Swank won an Oscar for the transgender role. She also won for $1 Million Baby, as a boxer who gets paralyzed in the ring. She played another butt kicker in Karate Kid 4, one of her first major films. Her big break was a role in the latter seasons of the iconic 1990s television show, Beverly Hills 90210. Disclosure contains one of the silliest premises in movie history. Here we have a normal-looking dude played by Michael Douglas, and his smoking hot boss played by Demi Moore. Well, the boss wants the bone, and Michael doesn't want to give it to her. She tries to convince him with some moral fun and then he's ready to go, but then he changes his mind and doesn't finish. What kind of weird fantasy is this anyway? This would absolutely never happen in any office on Earth. No wonder it's so far-fetched. The film is based on a book by Michael Crichton, who penned Jurassic Park. Boogie Nights is a wonderful film about the other film industry, the one that is not shy about you know what at all. In fact, they are not shy about anything. And Heather Graham's roller girl character doesn't mess around either. She just rolls right on over, assumes the position and gets to work. The only question is, why isn't she wearing knee pads? For the roller skating that is, it's a dangerous sport. Heather has been around Hollywood for a while, since License to Drive in 1988. She's recently preferred comedies like Austin Powers 3 and the Hangover series. She still looks great and plays blatantly to her sex appeal. Scary Movie is perhaps the funniest parody film since old school flicks like Airplane and Naked Gun. Cheesy horror movies, namely Scream, had gotten really popular, and Scary Movie lampoons them to perfection. The film also takes shots at other modern classics like Usual Suspects and American Pie. The latter film jumped over some teen sex boundaries and Scary Movie upped it even more. In American Pie, Tara Reid gets the downstairs treatment, but in Ska.